Scoot closer to me. So we are still obviously having the problem with the rotation. There you go.
Somebody knows how to do it.
Well, and it's probably an easy setting, but I need to figure out when we're not live or what have you. Hey, everybody. That's annoying.
It's like,
I'm like,
we're not.
It'll be up. We get used to it though once we're like smushed up against each other.
What if we turned it right now? Would it matter?
We'll do this.
Okay.
Rotate. You have to rotation. Wait, hold on. Rotation device. But yeah, you can't at this point. You have to do it like that. That
sucks.
Super weird. Remember we used to do it before and we figured out how not to do it anymore and then we kept doing it. Hello. Doesn't matter. We're here.
All right. I'm just going to have to get really, really close to my wife here.
Very close.
Yeah. Let me get this on.
Let me make sure we have the chat. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is because we had it when we first like got it going over there and now it's doing it again. It's probably an easy fix. If you any other streams that are still live, if one of you could do us a huge favor and go tell them this is where it's at.
I don't think it's
so close to each other.
We have to be very close.
I don't think that it's hey, it's good to see you, Sandy. How are you?
Big hugs from Leander.
Back at ya. We have a couple of issues playing against us. Number one, we can't find our little we
didn't have it together tonight. Hey, Presley.
Normally we have this. Hey, Presley. We put the look. Don't. I'm not being foul. But the thing that we put because the thing that it screws on like this and it's a claw. Beautiful. It's like best $30 we ever spent. But we can't find it. Hey, Stitching. Hey, Booker K. Camps. So we literally spent 30 minutes looking for that. Didn't find it.
In the meantime, we should have figured out how we could turn the...
Well, and then I was like, I wasn't foreseeing that coming. So I was like, 8:30, right on. I'll say, hey, we're live. He's looking for the...
You know how we do.
We do it like
You know how we do.
I wonder if it's in the cubby hole on the bottom.
I'm going to look.
Go look.
All right, hold on.
One of our problems... What happened today, Presley? Hey, Reachable, how are you? From your fall? What happened? You need to call me. I don't want you to share it here or everybody will know.
This, did we? We didn't use this, babe.
Okay, well that was the only thing I could think of. Look behind the mealworm box. Yeah, tell me, hey Gigi, you are here. You've found us. It's a rotation issue that I have to fix, but you can't fix it once you've set it a certain way. So I will, okay. Yeah, don't put it out here, Presley, but call me or text me for sure. Everybody's filing in. Tell anybody who was in the other one that it's both.
Isn't it?
Yeah, those almost look like two different sizes. We'll show people. So these are 22 pounds of mealworms. Your Wi-Fi is shit. Sometimes so is ours, but luckily, look, he's gonna show you the 2 bags of 11 pounds. 22. I'm gonna hold it so it doesn't fall. These are 22 pounds of mealworms. So if you were wondering what you could, if you were looking for any last minute, isn't that is 22 pounds.
That's a lot of mealworms.
That will last about a month and a half though. Well, depending. It's getting to be, it's winter time, so they're starting to eat more. So there's that. What have y'all been up to? Has it been nicer? Okay, for a second. Okay, let me know. Has it been nicer and cooler where you guys are too? Like that perfect fall weather, no rain, not too cold. And mealworms are good protein for different... Yes, Lady of Dolls and Critters. I think about you a lot when we have questions in here about like reptiles and spiders. I have a really cool picture of a spider I took outside. She'd probably love to see that. It's very Halloween looking.
Mealworms are pure protein.
But Sean and I were talking the other day specifically about fall weather and how, it can take you back to a good time
Oh my God.
Or a bad time. You were gone though. Or a bad time. Just based on the smells and the sights. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Do y'all have that specifically with fall? Because it seems like we do. And mine, it always is kind of a good feeling washes over me. Not like, but something happened in that weather.
The initial thing of fall is very good.
Yes, it's So, and I have some weather again. I love it. So, Paula posted on her community page, so she's open about it. She's got COVID. I told Sean.
Broomhill Flats. I came here from Seasons.
I caught him up that, and Moxie was in a car accident. She's okay, but she was pretty banged up. And so we've got Paula with COVID. We're kind of like Glenda Sully. Could y'all remember to?
Y'all just
keep coming back.
my name. I'm Randy in 20 years.
For many people, it's called seasonal depression. And it's not, yeah, you're right. It's definitely, something seasonal. I don't know that it's necessarily depression, though. I'm not sure, what it is. But I just was curious. Maybe some people have winter that happens. I'm just saying a memory is attached to it, and you can't necessarily place it.
Yeah, mine's like spring. I get a little bit depressed in spring, but that's because of specific events. But anywho, what's going on?
They're like, thank you for the thumbs up, you guys. I was trying to educate myself more on analytics and because, okay, so we have a Monroe piercing video. It's on this channel.
It's on here. It's one of them
And
from.
somehow it has like 12,000 views, which for a video of ours is a lot. So I was trying to troubleshoot with Sean, like what makes some videos that happen and some
Here,
don't.
I'm gonna put you in.
Do you think
and
it's
then I'm
too
gonna
divided?
come over like this. See?
Okay, I'm gonna do this.
There it is. I look little now.
Well, you can also unscrew the thing or whatever.
Monroe piercing, go.
This is quicker. Oh yeah, the Monroe piercing has 12,000 views. We looked at the reasons why. It has to do with location, age.
I think people hashtag Monroe piercing.
Yeah.
And probably Monroe piercings in Austin. That
Hey, Viola.
that abbreviation is ATX. So Monroe
Irish
piercing
Bev,
in the
hello.
ATX has drawn a lot of people over the years. I think people like to see, and it's only like a minute and a half. People will watch a minute and a half. They
Right,
will. They'll
yeah.
give you a minute and a half.
Chrissy's like, don't be pinching Mandi now, Sean.
No, I'm all kinds of pinching, grabbing.
What was the important thing that was going to bridge? We were going to do a bullshit icebreaker. Thank you. Talk about silly stuff and then start talking about, Randy and Wendy. Let's just put it
We
out
weren't
there.
gonna do it again, but yesterday, while I'm at work, y'all know I work all week. Somebody asked me about this person, Bam, and we had told a story that involved Randy. It had nothing really to do with Bam at all. We were going for Randy and Randy's ridiculousness that she is, and Wendy's, but really Randy. And we recalled an event from several years ago that happened that really had nothing to do with.
Nothing to do with Bam.
See, okay, so.
Other than she had been lied to, too.
Yeah,
And she knows.
But what
definitely.
had happened was this person, Bam, fired up a live stream for about, 8 hours or something?
No, I don't know. I just happened to be listening when she started. Yeah, it was a while, but she got right off the bat.
Well, but
we were right off the bat.
But right at the very beginning, and then didn't mention us again.
Well, because I had said in there, I was like, "You're
oh
not."
yeah, you went in there,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I said, "You're not. What you think happened didn't happen. Nobody
Go-
had a
go
problem
on over,
with the pills."
Yeah, go on over to our live stream and look at it.
Bev,
It's
I
still
haven't
up.
seen you in a while. Yeah.
Who's that?
Irish Bev.
Hey, Irish Bev.
So that was how that even she went.
So the thing with Bam, and there's a lot of people that know of her and a lot of people that didn't. And so there was kind of this discussion about Bam. Anyway, we had described an event that happened several years ago. And I don't know what Randy went over and told Bam that we said, but this girl fires up a live stream and then immediately admits to exactly what we said, and then did a whole bunch of incriminating things that had really nothing to do with anything. And it's just, there's Randy. Randy's gonna go in there and drag some poor lady that has nothing to do with nothing. Here's Bam's thing, and she will openly admit that she takes large quantities of morphine on a regular basis for some debilitating physical conditions. Really not anybody that you want to go down the rabbit hole with. You got to leave leave them alone, man. You know, they're trying to live their life, but there goes Randy over there going bam, because nobody else will help Randy on this issue because of how ridiculous it is, and that we were right.
But she keeps coming back to it. She keeps going live and coming back to it, Randy does. And I'm like, it's very, very simple. I don't personally care that Tylenol T3 was mailed from England to here. I could give a shit less. We don't even give a shit that it's felt nothing. That was not even the point.
Nothing to do with it. We don't care about that.
Nothing to do with it. The point was, what was Randy trying to hide by outing that, by kind of throwing sin under the bus, bringing all of the sin, you know what I mean?
But then in true Randy fashion,
but Bam brought up the
she
tablets.
goes running to Bam, and Lord knows what she told her, because apparently Bam got on her.
She goes, I don't like either one of you.
And the thing about it is,
she said. She goes, I think y'all are mean, and I think that it's like, okay, but that's not what we said.
But that it doesn't matter. And then what Randy does is she gets this lady, spins her up, she goes on a live stream, and then she incriminates herself, and then she sounds foolish. This is a woman, and she talks about, I did that, I did exactly what they said, and then she started going, and I did not know this, so I was listening to it. Really, when I was getting off of work, I was listening to it a little bit. She goes on to talk about her credentials, like she's a nurse or something.
Yeah.
Like she was a nurse.
No, she said she was in the healthcare field.
So whatever
not
it is,
a nurse,
and that she worked hard for her credentials, and that everybody knows that when an antibiotic is prescribed, 9 times out of 10 they prescribe a pain pill with it.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
And I'm like,
I didn't hear that, but I heard you had heard that, and that's not true.
That's not true.
It's not. I've lived in the United Kingdom. It's not even true there.
It's not even true.
It's not true.
So like, anyway.
But I knew that you could. They have Tylenol cough medicine with codeine. I lived in the United Kingdom for 3 years, in the 90s, so I kind of knew that. But Bam, what I'm here to tell you is that we didn't have a problem with anything about the fact you sent that in the mail. I don't care.
You got on and did a how many ever hour live stream and sounded foolish,
right?
All because of something that Randy told you.
The most recent time that, well, not the most recent, but this has happened again when DC Media was, I know, it's like, at this point, it's like, should we just stand? Was kind of kind of merging or whatever a while back, and it somehow it got back to Randy that we were going to talk, that I was going to talk about, I don't even like saying the name, someone who's no longer with us in the community. Yeah. Okay. And it was not true, just simply wasn't true. And I went into Randy's, chat, and I said, I don't know who's giving you your information, but that's absolutely not the truth.
And so the bottom line is that's what Randy does.
She'll run.
Because nobody will help her out with this whole sin thing, because it was ridiculous, and everybody is saying it's ridiculous. She goes and she tells this poor woman about, I don't know what she told her to get her that fired up. This woman is in really, admittedly, no condition to...
I'm going to read that, Gigi.
Go down to the rabbit hole with anybody. It was like, leave her alone, Randy. Fight your own battles. Here's the thing. The bottom line, we were talking a little bit with some other people. Randy and Wendy are
Karen.
the last people in the DC that were in the DC, that literally try to do a channel that's not... they try to keep holding this beacon of truth and honesty.
And that we have some sort of standards.
Like we have some sort of standard in the DC, and that is what they're known for. That's their shtick now.
At the end of the day.
Everybody's kind of crazy in their own way, and we kind of have our own little thing that's going on. Theirs is the self-righteous, fake-ass self-righteous gals that still cling to this whole thing.
They'll go, you know what? And I'll come for you, and I'll drag you by your...
She is about the least fierce person. She goes, you know what?
What happens is she takes...
I'll drag you like
we're all kind of getting up there in this community. We're in our 40s, 50s, some are 30s. But she goes and 60s, she grabs, and her and Wendy both. Wendy really cracks me up when she does it. Grabs some of the cool lingo that's going on with like the younger social media people, like, not that it's only, but like Take the L, when all that kind of got popular. And they will use that. They will add that into their repertoire of things to say, because someone said it and it sounded tough, so they say it. we are all old.
Yeah,
Nobody is.
So their thing is that we're nice, we're honest, we're righteous,
you.
and they try to do conflict resolution is their thing. So that's kind of their shtick in the drama community.
Nobody wants to resolve conflict, by the way.
And that's why they're so funny. And that's why
in the drama community, nobody wants to resolve any drama. Just
everybody else that has been around for a few years and kind of do whatever they do, we do our chicken thing, have come to realize that the drama community, we're fortunate that we have an audience at all in the drama community. We all have it for different reasons, but we're not this wholesome, self-righteous group of people.
We've shown that there is no, everybody just does everything. They just do it under a different name.
And if you just own it, if you just own the fact that you've been part of a lot of fuck shit, we all have.
And it's not even fun fuck shit anymore. It's like 2017 fuck shit. It's not the only one over there still doing the same damn thing is over the Yeti in North Carolina. Nobody else is nothing fresh is happening. Mm-hmm. It's the same shit and just the tough talk. It is entertaining. And the other one is the Wendy's. See, I don't watch this person, so I can't tell you anything that they say. But I heard, and then she'll break it
tells you everything.
And because I absolutely do not watch. I won't watch anything. But at minute marker 12.03,
let's run the film because you notice like Mandi and I don't do that. We don't have to use other people's likenesses and their words. We just come on here and tell you that you're ridiculous.
And like I said, what we've all learned is just do it under a different name.
But we were going to bring it up again. But in the name of Bam, who got drug into this,
you got the wrong info.
In whatever ridiculous story that she was told.
Thank you, Karen.
Didn't she say something that she would take our channel?
Oh, she goes, I'll take your channel or whatever. I don't know. She comes. I love Beats Cat. Don't have an issue with her. I understand. In fact, I really like her. We both do. But I think they're super close. And I think back in the kind of cutthroat days of the drama community when people that is done. The only person that has lost their channel is Katie. Mm-hmm. And somebody else, but nobody's taking channels for boring middle-aged people talking shit on YouTube. Nobody's losing their channel.
But Bam was around several years ago, and the reason why people really didn't spar with her or go down the rabbit hole or banter back and forth is because of the fact that she admittedly has heavy, I guess, opioid use.
She's very open about it.
Very open about it for pain management, and really, stay away from it. And nobody wants to go after somebody or get into beef with somebody that's like that. But
I see your positive comments about the tramadol. I'm gonna read that out loud because that's cool and okay. But before I do that, I was like, we got to summarize the other thing. Karen dropped the link if you want to tip us. Sean, me, our names have been used quite a bit. So much that if we were the dirty truck stop, passed around, we would be super passed around.
We would be. We wouldn't be.
Current project, we got the silky thing ordered with your guys' help.
Yeah,
the second thing, now we're building a loft in the chicken coop.
And the other thing is, the stuff that's going on that you guys have been super supportive about, we don't want it to be a YouTube thing. It's not going to be something you see people that are going back and forth about what they're doing to each other. It's not going to be like that. We're just going to take care of it because it's real life. And besides our chickens, most of the stuff that we do on here is when we do dramas, we just talk about fuck shit.
But I like Sean's anatomy though, so I'll give it that.
That's true. Let's show him our
if it's
latest
going to be talked about, then let's give it its proper.
Are we switching places for a minute?
Yeah, we can switch places. Then you won't hear me, but I'll walk over here.
All right. But see, now we're going to be the same height.
It's okay.
We told you guys we were going to get cameras for the chickens, right? We did. You guys helped us out.
If we
Some of you guys
figure out how to work it.
And we're starting with these. We got these. There's 5 of them. We got to figure it out. We're new at this. And so what we're going to do.
I know, Irish Bev, it's crazy.
We're going to set up these cameras We're going to figure it out. We're starting, but we wanted to thank you.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to thank you all because we mentioned we were going to do it the last 2 or 3 streams. You guys have were generous. So we told you guys the stuff that you give us, we're going to start putting towards our chicken. Like, what are they going to be like?
They're gonna be-
Instagram, TikToks,
Yeah, well,
and stuff like that.
Shorts, things like that. You would not believe the cute things that go on when I'm out there that I simply just don't have a camera, or you can't catch it when it starts. Like Eleanor playing with them. We've got one little barred rock that thinks it's like 10 feet tall and bulletproof. It will take on the biggest rooster out there. It's not even a rooster. It's a baby hen.
What I don't know is these are like security cameras, so we're going to set them up, and I guess you can look at the footage. We have to figure out how
I'm
to do
gonna
that.
edit them, like go through and edit.
Yeah, Irish Bev, it's a chicken live stream. If you ever look at TikTok, if you have a chance, go on TikTok or Instagram and just hashtag like country life or chickens or whatever. And there's a lot of videos that people do. And you know, we kind of got in touch with a couple of them. We kind of linked with them, and they're like, yeah, you got to start somewhere. You know, you got to put the cameras up. These are pretty basic. They're security cameras, so I don't know what the quality is going to be like. But we're going to learn with these, and then we'll probably, my vision is to go to trail cams. You know, where people set these cameras up on like deer paths, you know, deep in the woods, and then they just do footage that 24 hours, 48 hours of what goes down, you know, on the trail cams. Those are pretty popular. I've looked at them where it's like 24 hours on this one deer trail, and they just, you know, at this time stamp, here comes a bear. This time stamp, here comes like wild pigs, you know, what do you call them?
Wild Shih Tzu.
Yeah, wild Shih Tzu. We know we have bears out here, or at least one. We know we've got the deer, but we really, for the chickens, one of the things, because when we see it happen, we never have our camera. We got a barred rock little chick that's about this big, stand down a big rooster. The rooster was walking along, just knocking people out of the way, and it got to this little 6-week-old barred rock that we thought was a pullet. We thought it was a hen, probably a little rooster, and it tried to knock it out of the way and wouldn't move. Wouldn't move. It just sat there, and the rooster fluffed up and everything, and that little thing just sat there, nose to nose.
Finally, the big one walked away.
Yeah, the big one walked away from it. It would have been a perfect little short. Our cat plays with the chickens.
Sawyer herds them sometimes.
So
this is Sawyer, by the way. If you're new, this is Sawyer. He is a Shih Tzu, but I call him a Shih Tzu because he's a shithead. Say hi. He smells like cat food.
See, this is the stuff we need to know. One Stress Mommy says the batteries die quick if you make the motion super sensitive. Now, we were told that there's these, they're pretty expensive for 4, but they're like super lithium AA's that you can put in there that are supposed to last a long time.
That's something we need to look into if we want some that you do not just want to work on motion.
Res Girl says mine are not so much for 4-legged animals, but 2-legged. Yeah, I mean, that's what these are. They're kind of motion sensors, and like One Stress Mommy said, you can set the sensitivity. What we want to do is just get 5 cameras worth of just a bunch of footage and splice it together, do sound overbites and stuff like that. There's one chicken channel that has their chickens, and they do their things with them, and then they have like South Park sound bites that go with them.
Sorry.
And it's really popular.
Normally I make sure he's gone out before we start, but I hadn't, so he won me on that one. He got Mom to jump into action.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things. So
I'm going to cover real quick.
Okay.
That was what, so tramadol. Someone had mentioned that their doctor had suggested tramadol. Hold on, just move this way just a little bit.
See, does it have a sync module with it? That's what I'm gonna oh yeah, so that you can be in it, you mean?
No, it's okay. Someone mentioned earlier and I don't want to forget it, that their doctor had suggested or had gotten tramadol for rheumatoid arthritis, and she's not taking it because of your story. And then someone else said, oh, it does wonders. Those medicines are there for that.
Yeah.
His story is just his story.
Yeah, what happened with my tramadol story is, I was on active duty, and it was probably, when did I started taking tramadol?
Hey there.
Before when I was still at Fort Polk. So that would have been about 2004, 2005. And I took it up until about 2012. So that's 7 years. They didn't tell me it was a narcotic. They didn't tell me it was addictive, and they gave me like unlimited supplies of it. So, I was taking it, and it didn't make me feel any kind of way. But I started to notice after a few years, and I was taking a lot of it. It was like 600 to 800 milligrams a day, and I was doing this and, going to work. Didn't feel any kind of way,
Nice.
but when I didn't take it, I would get sick. And that's the big thing that I trust, anything that you're taking for pain management, if you take it for a long amount of time, your
Yeah.
body's going to build up a tolerance to it.
Exactly, Stitch.
And,
Only 30 days at a time.
Thank you. We see it.
Thank you
We see
so
it. We saw the
much.
PayPal.
Thank you.
We appreciate you guys a lot.
We really do. It
It
makes things really cool. You get 22 pounds of mealworms.
Yeah, I mean, you saw, and trail cameras. That was what, we've come a long way with tramadol now. I mean, this was back when they were using it for everything. Same thing happened with Oxycontin. Is a lot more dangerous, obviously. But you remember back in the early 90s, it was like a miracle drug.
OxyContin, yeah, it was supposed to save people's lives.
Yep.
Like it's non-addictive. Now, a lot of the people that were in that
In original commercial,
did make it.
Yeah, that passed away. So that's just my my tramadol story. I was able to. Had a good doctor that identified it as a narcotic. I wanted not to be on it anymore, and he was able to, with Neurontin, of get Neurontin into my system, and then lower my tramadol with Neurontin, and then and then lower my Neurontin. What's the other name for Neurontin? Gabapentin. And I was able to just get off the tramadol. But yeah, just be careful. It's like anything.
Like you were saying, hey, Marilyn, gabapentin doesn't do it for you. Okay, so gabapentin, I've had a psychiatrist give it to me before for sleep. It didn't work for that. I've had doctors give it to me for like nerve pain. It didn't work for that. Then I was watching a documentary where it's like the party drug of this, and I'm like, it's absolutely never made me feel anything, except it makes you kind of, it's a weight gainer. You'll gain a lot of weight if you take
Gabapentin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's.
But some people like abuse it, and I'm like,
I was kind of upset,
sooner,
that I was getting sick by taking something.
There you go.
A lot of people are like, if I'm gonna, withdraw, or I'm gonna be addicted to something, it should make me feel some kind of way. I was only getting sick when I wasn't remembering. After a while, I had to remember to take about 300 or 400 milligrams a day just for maintenance, like a vitamin, or I'd get sick. Didn't want to do that. There's no way to live.
You have to. Marilyn said that gabapentin didn't even work for her. And isn't it weird how our bodies are different types, like respond to different things? There's a medicine that has come out by Advil, which is a basic thing that doctors have done all the time, but puts the Motrin with the Tylenol together. It's Advil, right? Is it the ibuprofen? It's Advil.
I can go get it. I mean, are we allowed to show that? We're mess with our...
I think most people know what I'm talking about. A couple of other people that I know, like that I've talked to through here, have said that those two ingredients together in one pill has been awesome. Even though it's just you could take one of each tablet, I guess, before, but this is like the way it mixes. The other thing is, I was told when I was in
Gigi says Neurontin absolutely helps me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And when I was in rehab, they were saying that Tylenol, and tell me, correct this, I know this isn't the chemistry way of saying it, but things bond to the molecules in Tylenol and make them work better or last longer, which is why they put acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, in with oxycodone. That makes Percocet. Someone here will know the exact thing, but yeah, it's ibuprofen and acetaminophen together, and you said it's amazing. Right, Sean?
I'm just reading the comments. A lot of people, Res Girl says, I have arthritis and so far refuse to take anything. I own a working ranch and I just can't take it. That's the best thing. With my bad back, I have a bad back. My neck bothers me a lot. My doctor said just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Sooner or later when you get up into your 70s or something and you can't move quite like you can when you're in your 50s, they might have to do something. But they wanted to do surgery. I just said no. Tramadol worked for a while, and now it's just, I don't take anything. It's like Mandi said, the Advil, and that's it. At the end of the day, said my old neighbor was on tramadol, and I kid you, he was out washing and waxing his car every day. The other thing that they used tramadol for was also it doubles as kind of like an anxiety med.
Yeah.
So, like pain pills, low-level pain pills, if you take it, it binds to your receptors and it takes your anxiety away too. That was the other thing. I was getting really sick and I was feeling like I wanted to jump out of my skin. But I could see it, man. If he was spun up from tramadol and he didn't, he probably had a lot of energy.
Probably. I can't. Yeah, people are saying they can't take NSAIDs. Hey, Shelly, how are you? When I went to get off opioids, it wasn't the alcohol. It was opioids. There was a girl that had lived in a really, really nice neighborhood in San Antonio, Alamo Heights, which is a nice older money neighborhood. And when she got on meth, she would paint her house in the middle of the night and shit like that. Like go outside and put a scaffold together and start painting her house. It's like was insane. She was like, I could like 6 or 7 days.
You like painting the house in the middle of the night, but that's
I know.
after other things.
That's after other things. But like it was so interesting to me. I wish I remembered all the stories that I heard because I was going to write a book called 4 Days in Rehab. I know I've told you this before. And put down some of the crazy stories that I heard.
There's some pretty crazy ones.
Crazy stories that I heard. Now that place isn't even open. It was a like nuts and bolts rehab. They weren't gonna, take you swimming and you weren't gonna get to tan, but they made you stay sober while you were there. It's up to you whether you continue it, I suppose.
I was just gonna read that stitching, but she retracted it.
She might have did it so that it would be seen, and then hold on, let me grab this. So the other thing, so we went back to camera. Now I'll go back to you. I didn't mean to interrupt, but then you were trying to talk about the cams, right? Were you still talking about them?
About the what?
The cameras. Were you still talking about them?
I don't
want them to see us hanging cameras.
I know.
Afraid they'll be like thinking.
But everybody has cameras.
I know.
Like our neighbor Fernando down there, he came out one morning, and it was early, and he just said, "Be careful. There's a bear." And so his security cameras picked up a bear that had come through, and when it does show up, it's like right before dusk. So
yeah, I don't know. What do you normally do when people put like they're using all of the
they're just spamming us.
Is that what it's called? No, I don't care, but I was about to ask you guys, is that what it's called when they spam your chat? I thought it's when they said you want to see naked girls come to this website. I thought that was spam.
And just like that, they're gone.
It was cute. They were cute emojis though.
Yeah,
I was
they
like,
are.
I don't know.
Oh, so there she goes. I bought Advil for $32. I'm going to doctor for prescription.
Lidocaine patches, same way. We're gonna get prescription. It's too expensive to get lidocaine patches.
And she's in
in Canada.
Yep. We went grocery shopping. It was last night, right?
Yes.
We went grocery shopping last night, and the way it works for Mandi and I, at the beginning of the month, when
you're out of everything.
When you're out of everything.
you've not for any major beautiful reason, you're just out of everything. Even ketchup. When you run out of ketchup, you're like, I need to go to the store.
You get real creative at the end of the month.
But you know what I mean?
So what Mandi and I do is we go shopping usually at the beginning of the month when I get my my retirement check, my VA check, and we just go and we go shopping for the month. And I had to take a picture of the final amount of what it just wasn't
Don't
for us.
quote it though.
I won't quote it, but for us,
but you watch it drop. You put
bunch
your
of chickens, and it's tough right now, all over with inflation, with how when I looked at what we spent on groceries yesterday, that number alone, I could probably,
hey Carlos,
25 years ago, that I could get by on a whole month on that.
Oh, I used
Easily.
to every 2 weeks, the 1st and the 15th, we spent $250 at the grocery store, and that included baby formula, and that lasted us. You can't for $250. You'll be lucky if you get out with just the main things you need.
Hey, Carlos.
But we're not. That's not what we're not doing the. We can't afford the point we were making was we loved it when we would put in you put in the phone number. And then when you hit pay, if you have Kroger, you know what I'm talking about, and you do pay now or whatever, then it applies your thing, and then you watch the balance.
That was kind of neat.
And that gives Sean, that's like a boost of because he's like looking at he's like, and then it goes down a little bit, but stuff's just expensive.
Irish Bev says I'm on. tizanidine for my fibro.
Yeah, like in that Flexeril or something.
It's a muscle relaxant.
It's
Actually,
yeah.
it's for MS patients.
And it will help you sleep too.
Yeah, that's
right?
what she's saying. She's saying it
Yeah.
knocks her out. So Carlos, I know that Carlos is old school, and a couple other people are old school and it's mostly dudes.
He's
when
old
they
boy.
come in and they call me Hawk.
Yeah, they remember. They remember. from back
ATX and Hawk back in the day. That was back in the in the Abyss days.
in the Abyss days.
But it did. I always say about YouTube and this and that. You know, I've been up, I've been down. But if I had not been here, you know, so all y'all that in here that have known me, you know, throughout the years, you know, like me, don't like me, up and down with me, hot and cold with me, I would not have met her. So that's why I don't just what's the word? Completely forsake this drama stuff, because I met Mandi here, and
I know that warms your heart, Wendy and Randy.
it does.
Maybe
That's why
someday
we're still
you should-
here.
Anyway, go ahead.
And that's
didn't
why
mean to
we're
interrupt
gonna
what
call
said.
you out, Randy.
She said, "Go get your girl,
bowl.
Sean. Go get your girl."
Yep, she go get your girl on your bowl fuckery. And you know what? If you look at the last 2 or 3 of our lives, I mean, Mandi, normally we just have our little boring life with our chickens, but people are kind of here for it right now. They're here
and it appears
to hear what we got to say about that. And there's a lot of
it
people.
appears that people are tired of y'all's bullshit.
Yeah, it's just,
Wendy,
you know, guess
you
what?
are such a do-gooder wannabe.
The truth
like,
will do. You ever heard the term "the truth will do"? Like that whole thing with sin.
I wish we
Nobody-
could both fit in
nobody
here without
would've-
me having to.
I know we can
make you
swap
wanna
again.
come- No, we're good.
The thing about that whole situation is everybody kind of knew.
Night reachable. Have a good night.
Everybody kind of knew, and it really didn't even need to be a big deal.
No.
Nobody would have, but you know, when you get on there and you make it so ridiculous, you can call out.
Well, because this is where remember. Well, I don't know. If you
Nobody
saw it,
cared.
But when I was on the
Go ahead, sit.
well, I'm gonna stand actually for a second.
All right.
When I was on the panel with her, and I kept saying, "No, I know how you work. I know you know how to play drama." This is what I meant. So, Sin is probably a treasure trove of slimy shit that she knows about. Probably not Wendy, like I said, she's clueless, but Randy at the very least. So she had to throw her under the bus completely, get her
Yep.
credibility questioned, get her to run off YouTube because she was like,
That way, if she
I
popped
got-
back up on YouTube,
or
and
if she came up with a story that was probably
Right.
true, they'd already discredited her accountability.
But now what we got, because
Thank
of
you,
how
Irish.
that situation was handled,
Hey, Aspasia.
we would probably gladly hear what Sin had to say.
Yeah.
We would probably accept.
If you want to say you date Joel, say you date Joe Elliott.
Yeah.
Bam, if you want to say you
we already
contacted
knew that
all the band,
everybody
then-
already knew that she was, you know, a little bit. And I see. I feel bad for her. I do, because of the way she was treated. Because people that are like that the drama community is perfect for them, because they have
Yeah.
a place. But actually, you took a situation where somebody that was supposed to be such a good friend, and you sort of everybody else kind of has a little bit of empathy for her now, because of the way you treated her. Before, she could have come on and said some story and we'd be like, "Oh, you silly girl." Now we're like, "I bet you're right. You're probably
Yeah.
telling the truth."
But that's your first clue when Randy's throwing friends under the bus. It's because hold on, there's shit coming down the pipe. Okay, and
We see UFOD. We know how that went down.
yeah.
We know.
So anyway, Monkey, I'm not sure how old you are. I checked out what you had, like your content. I don't know how old you are, so no, I can't. Other than I just said your name, I can't officially shout you out. But it looks like you do some cool stuff. But I don't have any idea if you're of age. In this crazy world, a little boring is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Your streams are not boring; they're calm and relaxing. Res Marie Girl Marie, Sean, I'd like to thank you for your service. My husband
Thank
was
you.
in the Army years back. He was on a tank when when it exploded, and all were killed but him.
Wow.
He was in the hospital for months and suffered.
Thank you for sharing that. I was a tanker before I became a Cav Scout, before I started doing Cav work, and yeah,
Passed away. Okay.
M1A1 tank has a crew of 4. So if that's what he was on, unfortunately, I can kind of visualize that. And I'm sorry, and thank you for feeling like you could share it here.
Hey,
And
Melinda.
thank him for his service.
He passed away.
He passed away?
She accidentally put last away, but then she changed it. It was passed away. Yeah, that's pretty. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, Melinda, I did some Tiny footage today. I got some good footage of Tiny not doing what a rooster's supposed to do, and I will put it together. I came back from getting a latte, and I opened the door. There's Tiny next door, and I'm like, "What are you doing, Tiny?"
You need to get in.
I'm like,
in. I can get right behind you.
We're like, someone will be able to fix this glitch or tell us how to do it.
I mean, now all of our haters can make fun of how we don't even know how to do.
But and that's the thing is like we for a while we didn't know how to make. But I'll get closer, and
Here,
so we're not
either
both
that
out.
or just move this over. So there you go. There you go.
It's good to see you, Janet. Yeah, and Rez, I'm sorry also for your loss. That's a tough
Rez?
one. That was Rez is the one who her husband was on the tank.
Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, Melinda loves Tiny. He said he's a good boy. Tiny just does whatever Tiny wants.
There's Miss J. She's in the chat. She's out there telling her truth.
Yes. My Wi-Fi is acting up. He's buffering. Don't worry about it. And earlier, Reachable said she was headed out for the night or going to bed. So I wanted to tell her good night, but I didn't get to say it. But maybe if she watches the replay, she'll get to see it.
So Miss J is she felt confident enough and comfortable enough to put, if you go back into the comments, and it was either 1 or 2 streams ago, about her experience with Randy.
Yeah, everybody has an experience with her. For as much as she says I'm shady and whatever, okay, I'll own that.
I mean, but Miss J is a perfect example of the people that are kind of
such a good person.
creeping into our mentions and going, God.
People who don't know, and she's okay. She crochets blankets and mittens and things like that for babies in the NICU. She's done it for years. Her hands ache and she still does it. So for someone to drag her through the mud, it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, there's Khaki. I said hi earlier, and then I think that it's Khaki the Crypt Keeper now is her name.
Happened?
Her name is now Khaki the Crypt Keeper. So I kept seeing it. I was like, she keeps saying the same thing, but that's her name. It's good to see you. Yeah, Millie was like back on the grid. I won't go for her because she's a whole hot mess. But
and that's what happens. You've got these people that you're kind of feuding with, like for us, and then they go and they get somebody that's a whole hot mess, like bam, and they spin up a live stream and they embarrass themselves and incriminate themselves, and it's like we're not gonna go there with her.
We need to all own our age.
Right.
There are things that we're not meant to say, like.
I mean, if you were out banging rock
what is
stars
the new
in
one?
the
Give me
80s,
some of the new terminology. Well, and that's another thing. People who talk to all of the band members of Def Leppard don't tell people they talk to all.
That's kind of the
truth. Do you see
truth.
what I'm saying? Karen knows half of the celebrities in act from here, so one way or the other.
She does.
She's kissing, emergency actors and stuff like that, and she doesn't talk about it. Serving Dairy Queen chicken fingers to Kevin Costner and shit.
And the other thing.
Hey, how are you?
If somebody asked if Bam was Australian, I think she's British, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she's
It doesn't
Scottish
matter.
or British.
You can't. I mean, her accent is pretty thick, but it's also kind of slurred. So
I think it's and I can be ignorant to it. I live there, and I think it's Cockney. It's like it's a dialect that's like Cockney. It's like a certain parts of the country, like Liverpool area maybe or something like that.
But I was kind of like when they said she was going to talk about us, and then she spun up about 6 hours worth of live stream, but she only said our name twice. I was like, look.
And she doesn't remember that she used to like me. I used to go into her chat way back when.
I never liked you, and it's like, well, here's the last time that we.
Lots of people don't like me now, but there was a time that some of them used to like me.
So I've never actually watched the stream. Mandi can tell you when you were on the went on Randy's channel. You know, I still haven't watched that.
Oh, when she said we hear Sean in the background.
No, but
I know that was the day.
The one
yeah.
soundbite that I said that I heard was when she goes, Mandi, ATX, there's at least 4 people I could get right now. And I was like, 4? You can do better than that. Right now, we could get about 20 that don't like us. I could
probably name at least 35 or 40 right now if I had to.
Gotta do better than that.
And if we rated them to how much they would love to see me like on a wanted dead or alive poster, that's even better. You know what I mean? We've got people that are OGs. Bam is an OG. And it's like, so back in the day, that meant we could go for each other, but we take care of each other.
Right. But you talking about Bam?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that people tend to leave alone folks that are in, you know, ongoing pain management, because this community tends to at some point twist that.
Yeah.
If you go after somebody that is ill or not in the best health, even if it's drama related, that'll sometimes get twisted. That like you, it was some fuck shit.
Well, but I have a question. Seeing as you work at the post office,
I do work at the post office.
If someone sends Tylenol codeine through the mail from England, fills out the customs form, it gets here. Somehow someone opens it. Again, I don't give a shit. I'm just asking out of curiosity. And they obviously didn't declare it on the customs form because in the United States it's a narcotic. What happens? Who gets in trouble? The person here?
Probably.
They won't be the person there.
It wouldn't be the person there.
But when you fill out a customs form,
first of all, I don't think anybody cares. I don't think.
But they would have to care.
But I mean, customs. If you declare it, like you could declare it vitamins. They may look at it if it's not labeled. Looks like vitamins. You say it's vitamins. They don't open. Customs doesn't open every box.
Oh no! I totally understand that. But what I mean is, you're basically you're like a mule.
That's kind of true.
Right.
But here's the point. If somebody gets caught doing that, they've been probably monitored for a while. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not
that's true.
It's not like anybody, like if someone's from California and someone else is from South Carolina and they're sending stuff, 98% of the time it's not detected, nor does anybody care. They just don't. We have one right now that one of the carriers brought back. It was a package, and it was an express package, and it reeks like skunk weed. Now, most of us, I don't care. I don't care, you know, if I get a package, but really, some people do care. Or they don't want to be incriminated. Like, this one smells bad. I can tell you. I don't understand why people send stuff that smells like weed through the mail anymore, because we have technology and the little vape things that you don't have to send anything that smokes like weed. But anyway, I digress. They sent it, and it's kind of sitting. So we have it kind of sitting there. And then we package it up and we send it to, we call our inspector general. The post office has a whole section. It's kind of like our own police, and it's kind of like our own investigators, so that and that's where it'll go.
It's regional or national?
It's national.
So it's in.
But they have regional offices. But the thing is I'm gonna tell you this. We had a package that one of the carriers didn't want to take, and it smelled pretty bad, and we sent it off, and we ended up being wrong. It was like it was like incense, or like a little like.
I know what you're talking. Like
essential oil thing that smelled just like weed.
Ooh.
And it wasn't weed.
Was it sandalwood?
I don't know what it was.
We always have an argument. I don't like sandalwood, and he's always like.
If you take 20 carriers, 20 mail carriers, 19 of them don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're going to be that obvious, sometimes you have to care if they're going to be that.
Yeah.
But
Melinda said she hasn't been watching any of the people because she's been working on the Delphi case with
cool.
Crime at Night. Yeah, I know that there's some. Is there movement on that case?
I don't know. Maybe we need to tune in.
I need to get going. Have a good night, Res Girl. You have a good night, and we will see you next time. Of course, we
Res Girl, thank you for sharing.
Our reputation precedes us, but we actually aren't total douchebags.
Yeah, we're pretty boring. We're happy. We're happy. People have been asking us to kind of carry the torch on this
We
fuck
like to
shit
be
that they're in.
boring.
So we'll do it for a little while. You're welcome.
Yeah. It's surprising. It's surprising to me how many people are like, yeah,
Dude.
Randy and you know, the fact is she has to be on panel with somebody, even if it has
Right.
nothing to do with Wendy, nothing at all
No.
to do.
And then,
because she needs someone to.
Even when Wendy tries to check out, she'll go after Wendy.
Stitching.
She'll go after Wendy.
Yeah, we already
You
talked.
know?
And Wendy, like, don't worry about what we work out behind the scenes. Oh, I don't give a shit what you do behind the
You're
scenes.
gonna
You
tell-
do it right there on your panel.
I know, you douched her right on the panel. Don't worry about what we work out. We're not worried about it. We're sure we're going to tell you, you're going to tell us some sort of version.
Oh, guess
You know?
what? Without getting too far into details, Wendy called the police because Sean's ex-wife said that her husband left her for another woman, so she called the police.
We're not here nor there with that right now, but yeah, when you're at work and the cops show up and say, look, man,
Wendy, that's not what the police are for.
I had to tell this lady in California that I can't go arrest somebody
Yeah.
because they hurt her feelings.
I can't, that.
And said that your husband left for another woman. It's not an arrestable
Randy said
offense.
60-year-olds in her church don't spend time on YouTube. My
That's
first
gotta
thought
be-
was she
that's
goes
Miss
to
J,
church.
right? Is that Miss J, right?
Yeah, she
saying
doesn't go
that?
to church.
Here's the thing. Does she understand that?
Yeah, she called the
There's-
police.
Do you Does Randy? She says that her audience in another. She's 50 something, right? Randy is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You've been on doing this 10 years, Randy. If you do it another 10, you'll be that 60-year-old. Are you just
Yeah.
going to shut it down when you turn? She is the last person that I think in the drama community that's still just holding on to this YouTube thing that doesn't have something else going on in real life. I don't know if I said that right, but it's just not that serious.
She's definitely not a happy camper.
That's the
Literally.
other thing too.
And I don't know what that means for her, what that looks like, but
She-
I'm
yeah,
not
she's
going to
very-
mention, I walked back all of those other things, but she's not the same grounded. She's always been, I've never,
She's always
can't
been a-
stand her,
she's
but
always been the noodle,
used to be
but-
at least a little bit happy.
Yeah, she used to. She
Not
used
so
to really
tired.
kind of enjoy, like her doing her channel didn't seem like such a chore
That's awful,
like it does
Janet.
right now. She comes on, and I guess it's, I don't. She has to. She's got subscribers that pay her every month for drama. You got to drum it up, and there's just not a lot of us that
But
like
they,
to.
you know, I mean, people can say whatever, but she's like, it has come to light that she's done a lot of shitty things to people that
Yep,
people didn't
it's
really
really
even
is.
necessarily know about.
And unfortunately for a lot of people, amends, they work, and the truth will do, because we know the truth. And this kind of started, I think this
Right,
started
Aspasia? Nothing. Go ahead.
about 6 months ago when,
Nothing.
I'm going to just use the name as reference, when little Rosie came back up, the way Randy handled that situation, whether you like Clara or not, the way she handled it, people were like, Randy, that's not what happened. We all saw the live stream you were on, and it's okay. It's
Sawyer,
okay.
Hold on. We're almost done.
And it started then, and then more and more people with each event,
Sawyer, do you need
they're
to-
like, man, you know, who's going to call her on this?
Yeah.
But the sin thing was so outrageous and so ridiculous, people were like, there it is. Everybody called it.
Come here. He bumped me with his nose, which usually means he's got to go.
He's got to go. Do we need to go?
We might want to. No, I don't mind. We can go.
I'll
but-
take him. You talk to him. I'll take
and
him this time. Come on,
I'm
let's go
having
potty.
fun. I just look when Sawyer has different.
Sawyer.
Oh, look, he's such a he's like
He wants you to
he
go,
wants
doesn't
me to do it. So that's the problem. So he can take off, but that's okay. I can do this. Hey Christine, she's Christine, exactly. And there is nothing wrong with being 60. That is a very, very, whether you're female or male, I consider each like a silver fox age, right? So I can tell you this right now because he's outside. So I'm making Sean's cake. I'm not making it because I'm not making it, but I got a whole total green cake, ordered it from Costco with different types of green that looks like grass and stuff. And I ordered these little figurines. Karen saw them. There's a dude with a pitchfork, and then there's a girl like kind of like a like what would you call it? Who's the one where the girl during World War II was on the poster, the We Can Do It girl, that one, and and they're doing their thing, and so I'm gonna position it on but no, I'm not making it. I'm having it completely done and set exactly what I need, and then I'm just gonna do that. So
What were you talking about?
there you go.
What were you talking about?
I was talking about something. Your birthday. Did you know you're gonna be 54?
54 years
That's
old.
hot as fuck. So
She likes the old dudes,
I do.
guys.
Like my celebrity crush, when he's like, well, who was your celebrity crush? And we met, and when we started talking, I was like, I'm gonna tell you, it'll embarrass me. He's like, who? And I was like, Oliver North. He was like, right on.
I was like, well, then I have a chance.
I'm the only,
I have a chance.
one that I remember during the Iran-Contra, and he was all over the news, and I was like, he's a nice looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
He is single-handedly being hosed for something that
People like see my phone. Well, a lot of the people.
Nice. See, look at all you sexy 60-something. I'm sorry.
lot-
60. Loretta.
A lot of.
I'm so glad Loretta.
You know, my work, my folks at the people I work with have seen you and met you.
Uh-huh.
Our carrier, when she comes in, always mentions when she sees you out in the yard and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think Mandi, first of all, is 44. They don't think
That's
so.
cool.
They think she's younger, and they were like, dude,
They thought I was like in my like early 30s.
mid 30s.
I had just turned 40 when we
Right.
crossed over. So we crossed over in May, and I turned 40 in June. Before that,
And
or
I don't-
no,
I don't
March.
care.
What am I talking about? June.
I would say about 2 or 3 years ago, when I turned 50, a lot of people said I didn't look like I was 50.
Mm-mm.
But when I see my pictures now at 54, I at some point it does catch up with you. I mean, I don't look like I'm in my 40s anymore. I don't think I do.
Well, when you're that close to someone, you can't really think of them age-wise. I think it's hot that you're 54. I remember there was a guy that used to he had married a younger girl, and when I worked at the daycare center in Fort Belvoir, and he would always, they had a toddler, and then he would have the carrier. I guess his wife must have worked different hours or whatever. They were contractors, I'm sure. And he'd had an infant in the seat too, and people, kind of assumed Grandpa was helping out, but nobody ever said anything. Nope, it was his. He was owning it like a champ. He said he had full-grown kids. It was his second marriage, and they had a toddler and a newborn. It was kind of cool.
I can't get the chat up.
Let me see.
I'm gonna get it.
I know, because it's delayed.
It's okay.
It is okay.
Um,
Did he go potty?
He did.
He did the deal?
He just did number one.
Sawyer, you're a con.
It is such a full moon out there. I didn't realize it. It is. You don't even need a flashlight. It is
really?
so bright. That
How
might
cool
be.
is that?
And I don't know if it's completely full or if it was full last night and now it's like a waning gibbous. But it does explain a lot of the.
A what?
A waning gibbous.
The hell is that?
A waxing gibbous is as the moon is getting full, but it's not quite full. And then we have a full moon, and then it wanes. So then the waning gibbous is like the post full moon, and then you kind of like have the.
What
half
about the
moon.
harvest moon? Remember the Neil Simon song?
Mm-hmm.
I like that song. Do y'all know I like Neil Simon? This old
It's
guy.
not Neil Simon. You're talking about
Neil Young.
Neil Young.
The old guy that I've sat with many old guy, but one that was particularly cool got me into Neil Young because that's what
She's
he liked to do.
talking about when she as a caregiver.
Yeah,
sitting with the old
sorry.
guys. She's a lot of sat with many old guys. Now you sound like Bam and the rest of them. It's
no,
like
so and he liked him, so we would sit and we would watch. The guy. He had done a concert. I mean, it was a while back, but it wasn't like in the beginning. It was, and I was like, that music's smooth.
Karen says,
It's
Sean
not stoner
talking
music,
weird.
is it? I know. I was like, the gibbous.
It's what it is. It's a gibbous.
He knows a lot of that stuff.
But I mean, I could go outside. I didn't even have the front porch light on, and I could see. It's so bright out. I could see Sawyer. He was 50 feet away.
Irish Beth said that she works in the ER, and you can definitely tell when it's a full moon. It's
crazy.
I remember the first person I ever heard like that I seriously took thought was Savage used to go, man, bitch is gonna be going crazy. It's the full moon. And sure enough, it's absolutely the truth from what I understand. And I've heard that from more than one ER nurse or ER doctor. They get prepared
people get
when
crazy, man.
Yeah. Sawyer, we're about to get off.
It's
If
where
you
the-
keep bumping me
Yeah,
with your
no,
nose,
you don't need to go. You don't need to go out. You just want mommy's attention.
He probably wants
You
me
good
to.
boy.
He wants me to give him his. Oh no way! I gave him that little.
He's fine, babe.
Oh yeah.
He's punking you.
He's punking me. You saw me. I took him out twice. Is Lassie? Did Timmy fall well? Anyway, but yeah. So I have heard that about the full moon. What is this? The harvest moon is summertime, or it's no. It should be in October, right?
I think it's a red moon too.
Okay, I didn't know
No, I
if
think
it
it's
was.
it's before October. It's like now.
Yeah.
We're having a hard time finding wheat straw. I mean, the harvest is done.
Yeah, well, yeah, we are having trouble finding wheat straw. That's crazy. I don't know because I went and checked the channel or whatever. Okay, so Chad says, and it may be an insult. I don't know. I can't make sense out of it. Science, geography, history. I told this guy, his mom is a mystery.
Yeah. He probably
What does that mean?
made a bet with somebody that he could get somebody to say that in their live stream, and he just won his bet.
I don't even know
what
what.
it means. No.
Oh, I thought it was one of
Yep,
those things.
Stitching said this is the harvest moon.
Oh!
Yeah, I knew it was.
We have to listen to the song.
Okay.
No, we can't. Yeah, we'll listen to the song.
You know what I was listening to before we?
Y'all know what I'm talking about? The
before we
Harvest
go?
Moon by Neil Young?
I was listening to the Eagles live. Mm-hmm. Desperado and Wasted Time and Take It to the Limit. Mm-hmm. They were a good damn band, man.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff that if you went to high school in the 80s, that those that went to high school in the 90s don't know about.
Yeah. The great faith, old people. Very old. We're old. Neil Young is old. Pretty much everyone in this chat is older.
Joe Elliott of Def Leppard is old. And the gals that said they've been with them,
not
they're
to beat a
old.
dead horse. I'm just not thinking that people that are like, hey, this girl is lying about you on YouTube. Well, you better correct it or you're going to be in legal trouble.
That's true. What she means
that
is
doesn't, that
you've
no,
got,
that
you've got
didn't
a person
happen.
here and there that says, I'm going to go and I'm going to tell this rock
And
star.
that the real Def Leppard told band, because I don't know which
Gives a
character
shit.
it said, you better get her under control because you're going to be legally
doesn't
connected to it. Do you know how many women have said they've had the babies?
you know-
Most of them are probably
there's
telling the truth.
This is like our drama community.
You're
is
not
like,
talking to Def
it's like
Leppard
a
on
solar
Facebook,
system,
stop.
right? And YouTube is like the galaxy.
You love 80s music.
And you got all these little drama community solar systems, and they're all saying the same thing.
Andy, Yankees are out. Let's go Braves. Love you guys.
I know. For the first time since 1996, the Yankees are not going to the postseason. I've been arguing with people. Andy,
Are you
and
arguing on Facebook?
No, I'm arguing that Acuna 40-70, man. 40-70. The MVP is a lock, and people are talking about other players. 40-70, cuz. The next person to go 40-70 will be the second person. History, dude.
There you go.
You know?
Okay, Scout's like, put me to bed. Sawyer's like, figure out what I want. We love you guys.
Guys, I know you wanted us to talk about other things. That is not something. The stuff that you're helping us out with. Keep sending the emails. Keep sending the screenshots. But it's not gonna be a production for YouTube. It's not. It's serious.
Yeah.
It's real. This has been coming for a long time, and it's starting to affect other people. Where I can't just go. Ignore it.
And don't. When Mama and Daddy can help out, don't.
Right. When you start moving up in your career and you start doing like clearances, you can't have fuck shit going on. You got to take care of it. So that's what we're going to do.
All right.
All right.
Have a
Love you
good
guys.
night.
Thank you for the donation.